Greetings! Today we're going to go over 3 warning signs that your student may actually need a tutor or some other form of academic assistance. These are warning signs that you see throughout multiple age ranges and multiple students across the board. So, coming from a math teacher, this is what you may want to look for. Number 1, one of the most important signs to look for is when your student comes home and is not putting in any remote effort into memorizing formulas. I got news for you. No matter which course you get into, no matter which line of work you get into, the problem is when you do math, there's something to memorize. Every freaking class there is something to memorize, and that is important. Whether you are dealing with geometry, you've got postulates and theorems to memorize. When you're in trig, practice your unit circle. Practice your identities. When you're in integrated 3, there's factoring that you can practice. There's formulas that you can practice, especially with difference of cubes, sum of cubes, difference of squares. You know what I'm talking about if you're taking this class. And if you're in college and you're in statistics, there's stuff for you to memorize. When you're in calculus, there's stuff for you to memorize. If you are in integrated 2 or integrated 1, there are plenty of items for you to practice and memorize. Integrated 2, you've got your linear equation formulas. You've got basic factoring. You got basic exponentials. You got basic sequences. You name it, it's something that you should know. So please, make sure that your students are studying. And in a later video, I will talk about ways that you can actually study with your student. But more importantly, make sure that they're putting in the effort to study. Even if your student is a B student or a C student, I'm sorry, but there are very few students who can go around prancing about saying, oh, I didn't need to study for anything in math. That's a load of bull. When you're studying, it doesn't have to be proactive sitting there hitting the textbook left and right. You could be sitting down, relaxing, and you could be quoting to yourself the quadratic formula, or quoting to yourself certain factoring, or watching a YouTube video about somebody who's going to help you out with math. You know, little things like that. There's things that you can do. Warning sign number 2. When dealing with certain students, another telltale sign is when you look at the first exam. You, the parent, have every right to see the exams, no matter which way you write it. You may have to schedule a parent-teacher conference, but you can still see the exam. And the teacher can bring a document to you. That is one thing that just drives people nuts, is teachers don't want to give back quizzes. Teachers don't want to give back tests. Why? Because they're standardized across the board, so they don't want anybody to get an unfair advantage. Then make different tests, people. Come on, it's not that hard to change a couple of numbers. But when you get up to the first exam and your student fails, like flat out fails, don't listen to your kid when they say, oh, but, I'll do better the next time around. Get proactive and get some help. Normally, throughout a term, you get 4 exams. You lost one of them, you're going to lose another one, and by the time you get help, it may be too late. Third, one of the last and probably one of the most important warning signs about a student needing a tutor is when they become secluded from their math, meaning that they start using phrases like, math has no real meaning. My math teacher sucks. My math teacher isn't showing enough examples, and they want to get secluded from it. That is when you need to start looking for some kind of help. I don't care where you get it from, but options available for you if you are seeing some of these signs. Tutors are available. Tutors are normally cheap. All you need is a couple hours a week to get them back on track.